Good morning, guys. Welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you by Because Bitcoin. Right before I went live, I had a little bit of a shenanigan going on with my cat, so it threw me for a bit of a loop, but it's okay. Happy Thursday, everybody. Getting into the end of the week here. Happy you guys could tune into the show, whether you're from America, Europe, Asia, anywhere else. I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined, of course, by Tucker, Max, and Dr. Will's Outlook. Welcome to you guys as well. And now, real quickly, before we start cooking, before we start sharing all of the alpha that our brains can possibly muster up, we always appreciate when you guys smash, caress, or fondle that like button. It's after Valentine's Day, so I will let you guys fill in the blank of what you will do to the like button, but we'll definitely. Well, maybe we won't bug you again. I feel like we've been kind of like back and forth on whether we bug them on about the like button during.
I'm gonna bug them.
You're gonna bug them?
I'm in a mood to bug today. Yeah, I'm a bug them.
Well, we're gonna be bugging you guys today. It means a lot to us, so much, in fact, when you guys engage and enjoy our content. And of course, hitting the like button really helps us with the YouTube algorithms and growing our channel, which we've done a great job of. And that's, in no small part to you guys who tune in every single day. But let's talk about the markets, right? I mean, that's why we're all here. Bitcoin has chatted relentlessly for, at this point, almost like 2 straight weeks. It feels like, maybe not quite that long, but Bitcoin's basically been in a parabola, locally speaking, since the 43K pivot, traded all the way up almost to 53K, both overnight and this morning. I think the question just is, when is it going to stop? When is it going to range? What does that look like? And of course, when do altcoins begin to benefit from this huge influx of liquidity into Bitcoin? Because that's usually how it always goes, right? You get Bitcoin chatting relentlessly. Altcoins will tail it, typically around the same level of outperformance. And then when Bitcoin kind of settles down a bit more, you see those altcoins really start to rip and hit something in my throat and hit critical mass, right? So that's something that we've been talking about on this show for really the last week or so. And yes, altcoins are up. So we were right about altcoins being up, but the entire market's up, right? And I think we're getting, but I will say, I think we're getting close to that stage where you see that rotation into alts. And it usually happens after some sort of Bitcoin pullback. We're probably getting something like that now. Wherever this does pull back to, maybe this is the only pullback that we're going to get. But wherever this does pull back to, altcoins will likely rip hard off of. So that's still the bias. You can see the strength in speculative risk in crypto right now, illustrated through the strength in ETH. That's something that we talk about. And something that we mentioned a lot this week and last week is that ETH is more or less this oscillator for alt season. Alts are going to probably rip when ETH is showing significantly more strength than Bitcoin, or at the very least, when Bitcoin does cool off and ETH is ripping like this, you're going to see altcoins probably thrive in its wake. But yeah, ETH is ripping. We talked about ETH ripping for a long time, and I will say I'm going to keep flooding ETH because ETH Bitcoin is at the exact same price it was in October, but this is a big move, right? If you caught it, congratulations. You're probably going to see it bleed even more so into things like ETH beta that are really going to catch up to Bitcoin and ETH that have been really outperforming over the last 2 weeks. But yeah, equity markets, nothing too much to note, right? We had bad macroeconomic data not last week, but earlier this week, something I mentioned yesterday. Typically, that what we see that turn into is, all of those people who bought puts on the bad macroeconomic data have become a new high on the index pretty much without fail for the last 6 months. So I still think that's the expectation at this point, that you see a new high on the S&P at least here over the next week or so. But I continue to think the relationship with SPOOs and volatility is an interesting one and worth paying attention to, as the VIX is sitting right at a critical inflection point, but we'll see, guys. Let's talk about markets. Let's talk about things. How was Valentine's Day with your significant others? You can or can't go into too much detail, right? I'll leave it up to you, but I had a great one. For example, went to a lovely restaurant, spent some great time with my fiance. It was a great time as a whole, but yeah, that's it for me, guys. I don't want to ramble.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I'm thrilled that you had a great time, Tommy. I also had a nice time. It was different this year because I have a 7.5-month-old at home, and we don't really have like a babysitter yet. We have like family that kind of helps out. So this Valentine's Day, we just ate at home. We did like, cards and flowers, and my wife made some delicious pasta. It was fantastic, but it was a little different. Normally we go out and do something. But yeah, I mean, I like all your thoughts with the market. I definitely have some charts that I want to go over today. Um, I have a lot of opinions as always that I want to share, but guys, let's just do this right away. Tommy said he wasn't sure if we were going to bug you guys today.
Hmm.
He was mistaken because I am sure I'm going to bug you guys today because the YouTube has been going parabolic, guys. Like we are slicing through resistance levels on our YouTube followers, and honestly, guys, it's because of you, and sometimes you guys need a gentle reminder. Don't do that, Tucker. Don't do that 3 drive. No, no.
Max, come
While
on.
I'm talking, you only draw bullish propaganda. You
That's
don't
all
get
I
to
can
draw
see,
that in the
man.
background. No.
Oh, here we go.
Anyways, where I was going with this, guys, is we're so appreciative of your guys' support. So to avoid interrupting my colleagues in the middle of their alpha dumps today, let's get this out of the way early. All right. We already have over 100 people watching total, 40 on Twitter or X, and another 66 or 70 here on YouTube. Guys, if you are hyped for today's show, if you are excited for the alpha, the market check alpha dump brought to you by Because Bitcoin. Please do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up button for us here on YouTube. Hit that like button on Twitter. And also, if you're on Twitter, guys, you guys have been killing it lately. The Twitter crowd has been killing it. You guys have been massaging that retweet button as well. It's like one retweet is like 5 likes. So if you guys really want to help us, if you really want to support us, please not only hit that like button on YouTube and Twitter, but if you can, also hit that retweet button. And guys, thanks again. We just smashed through 3,600 subscribers. It feels like we just hit 3,500. And it's a big thanks to you guys. Thanks for putting in that work and helping us grow, guys. We greatly appreciate it. So yeah, thank you. Thank you, DK. Thank you, DK. Adam, I see you've asked twice now. It seems like you really would like to know. So I'm going to answer your question. No, Brandon is not a part of this anymore. He's been gone for maybe 7 to 9 months. I don't even remember. But yeah, you asked twice in 4 minutes, so I'm happy to oblige and answer your question. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for the support. Please consider liking and subscribing. Let's get into it, guys. So we are seeing for sure a little 3 drive at the highs here locally. It's not a problem though, guys. I mean, Tommy brought up a lot of good points yesterday. When I was feeling really bullish, Tommy said something along the lines of, maybe I'll butcher this, so you might have to correct me, Tommy. The longer we go without a pullback, ultimately deeper that pullback will be when it finally comes. It was something along those lines. So I think the healthiest thing for the market is that we continue to do this little stair step that we're doing right now. I mean, look at the textbook methodical stair step that we've been doing. Bitcoin's above 50K, guys. This is fantastic. Look where we started the month. Look at February 1st. We got nothing to complain about because we're a few hundred points off of the high. This is great. I wouldn't even mind a pullback. Let's retest 50K. Let's prove that it's concrete. But I do have a lot of good bullish propaganda for you guys today. But Tucker, you are the bearish propagandist right now, drawing a 3
No,
drive into the
Max.
local high. So please explain this.
I mean, it's all I could see right when I opened the chart. I was taking the dog to the vet this morning, so I didn't look at the charts. I literally got on here, popped the chart on, 1, 2, 3. And this FVG looks perfect. We got some support right here, flush some longs, maybe even scare everybody. And then I think we're just going to start ranging, honestly, between like 53 and 49. Probably we start a new range.
Which
So
would be super bullish for altcoins, I will mention.
for sure. Yeah. I mean, Bitcoin pumps up and then goes sideways. exactly what you want to see. ETH looks fantastic. Tommy's comment was funny about ETH BTC. I mean, it is in the exact same spot. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I've had this ETH fractal on ETH BTC fractal on this pair. So, I think it's confluent with Bitcoin going sideways, probably, right? We could see a little pop up in ETH BTC, maybe another 7%, and then it comes back down 8, and then it goes back up. It's just that's probably how it's going to be this year with ETH BTC and kind of with Bitcoin and alts for the
I have a
first half
question
of
for you,
the year.
Tucker. I have a
What?
question for you. We've entertained the idea of an expedited cycle for quite
Mm,
some time. If we
mhm.
get an expedited cycle, how do you reconcile this fractal?
Yeah, because this fractal does not include an expedited cycle at
And
all.
we don't have to get an expedited cycle, but it's just something that we've gone back and forth about for months now. And
Yeah.
technically, we are a few months ahead of schedule right now.
So how many months would you say we're ahead of schedule?
I'd say conservatively 3.
3. So rather than bidding ETH in October, November, this would probably just be this pop, right? You'd probably just bid it in like August and just,
So would you maybe do me a favor just for entertainment? Let's
Hmm.
drag that fractal, right? You don't even have to redraw it. Drag it so that like that pop is over where we're currently at.
This?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, or maybe even like that high, the last spike on that fractal before the big pop
Yeah.
is maybe what we just had. Yeah, like right there.
Max.
Yeah.
That's some propaganda,
Yeah,
brother.
well, someone's got to do it.
Somebody does have to do it. Yeah. I think that would be too many months ahead of schedule, but I like it. I think, yeah, it's tough you can really, that's funny. You could really fit it however you want, but I mean, I would argue we're probably we're probably like 6 months ahead of schedule, right? Because Bitcoin, the golden pocket boys, right, have said that Bitcoin doesn't break its golden pocket before halving ever. We did that. Um, it really doesn't even start chatting until 6 to 9 months after the halving occurs. So I would argue we're like in the summer right now. We're probably in like June, July if this was a normal cycle. Um, so I'd say you probably have 4 to 5 months before you'd wanna bid ETH for this move, which would put it around this summer for us if we are
That does
expedited.
look kind of clean, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It
I mean, that
does.
is a kind of a nice fit. You didn't even really have to massage that one that well.
I know.
It just kind of slapped right on there.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
It's not.
And ETH looks good here too, man. ETH looks great.
ETH looks really good. Look at those Tucker Nachi lines.
Yeah, man. That's I mean, especially this one. I think that's you flip 3K, 3150, depends where you're at. You flip like this zone, you got a lot of room.
Ooh.
A lot of room,
Oh man.
Because I would argue we've probably already flipped this guy on the lower time frames.
Do you think we need to retest that or no?
I mean, we're kind of seeing the same 3 drive that we saw in Bitcoin, right?
But we might just be doing vertical accumulation now, like after a breakout.
This is the equivalent level I mean, just structure wise, same level. This would be like 50.3 on Bitcoin, would be 2680 on ETH. Perfect FVG EQ fill, which obviously everybody wanted that at 32K. They didn't get it. So this doesn't have to happen. We could just kind of fill this one at 2720, something like that. But I mean, either way, I don't know whether you call it vertical accumulation or not, because okay, so 3 drive. I'm just trying to visualize.
If you look at the profile on ETH, we've got 2 single prints, which tend to backfill to some degree down to like 2690. So that's where I would be looking for an entry if I were trying to aggressively play the trend.
20, what, these two?
Not the full candles, but single prints in the sense that there was literally no volume transacted.
I see. Yeah,
Can you draw a volume profile there, Tucker?
Yeah, let's see it. Where is it?
We need the X-ray vision. You might have to bring the volume profile to the left a little bit. Like left a little bit more.
Where do you want it
right
drawn
there,
from?
Right there. Drop it right there. Yeah.
Come on. There we go.
Wow. Yeah, that was pretty thin volume.
Thin, bro. There's nothing.
Yeah, so that might get backfilled.
That might need probably said.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's not looking great, but
like here's the thing is like it actually is looking great. You know, like we're just breaking it down on like the really low time frames. Like it actually is looking fantastic out there.
Yeah.
So don't context is key. Time frames are key. So when you hear us be like, oh, like single prints usually get backfilled, there's a lack of volume, like on that breakout, you know, it's not looking great. Okay, so what's the scenario here we're entertaining? A quick drop to 2,700 to 2,680, and then another V recover to a new all-time high. You know, that's potentially what I'm entertaining. You know,
you're talking about like 5% at the worst,
and Bitcoin probably goes to 50K.
Yeah,
and then so much higher.
And then so much higher, yeah.
But here's the thing too, is like I notice as the trend continues and gets stronger, I feel like the pullbacks become more shallow, you know?
Yeah.
And you get less of an opportunity to bid as the rally becomes more certain. So we were clearly printing a parabola off of the swing fail at 2,200. Like, I mean, that's a nice banana parabola right there. So I think you need that parabola to hold. And I think that you could maybe quickly drop it to, again, sub 2,700 wouldn't surprise me. But I don't think you actually have the luxury of just like chilling out there. You know, I think you need to tighten that up. Now you need to tighten that parabola way up.
I agree, actually. I agree with him, Tucker. And I kind of hate the curve tool.
That's great. I know, so do I. Dude, this thing is steep. Boys.
We're gonna start going backwards pretty soon.
This thing is steep, guys.
I genuinely believe ETH can hit 32 or 3,300 within a week.
Say that one more time.
I think ETH will hit 32 or 3,300 within a week.
Jesus,
my man. You're gonna fade the bat signal, Tucker? Come on.
The top.
Hang on now. What do you say? 3,200?
I could see us wick to 3,500. Why not? I mean, the wick is going to depend on that ETH call seller, man. The wick is going to depend on that ETH call seller.
If you blow him out.
Yeah.
Tucker, just scroll out a little bit. Go on the weekly on ETH.
We're on the 1 hour, Will.
Again, the weekly always key.
We're gonna stay there.
Look to your left. Highlight your low and your high of that flush. The flush that should be easy to identify.
Here we go. Are you talking about? We did this last time, right?
Yes.
The high. You talking about this high?
Yes. You're gonna fill that whole thing.
Let me get rid of these.
There's nothing but air. Nothing is blocking you there.
Yeah, bro. I mean, that's like, what are we even talking about here? You know,
those are nice lines. I like that.
It's just
there's no resistance. There's literally zero freaking resistance there. Look at it.
I can spy a little resistance, Will.
I mean, you could say the mid range, sure.
Yeah, that. Come on. We're at the mid range right now. If Tucker drew a proper range from the wick, so not that actually, Tucker. Maybe you could take out a range for me, and go literally from the wick, that 2022 wick low.
This
right there, yeah, all the way to the high right there, and just draw a simple range 1, 0, and 0.5.
You know, I got the template already for you, Max.
Of course.
This
beautiful propagandist. So we're at the mid range right now. Like, that's perfect.
You flip that. That's so bullish, man.
We're going to flip it. It's just, you know, we're stuck here temporarily, you know, but we'll flip it.
Yeah, that is pretty clean. Even those 0.25s were nice. SR.
Yeah, even the body candles fit. Like the body candle, it was sitting right on top of it. Like you could have drew this from either direction, and you would have been in the right spot.
I mean, like this is in the territory of
deviation, bro.
Deviation, bro. Right? Like this, and same to the downside.
Yep.
Yes, there's my range
Yeah.
range propagandist right here. This is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put this on the top though. Boom.
And is me being bullish that much of a meme? The comments are talking about it.
Yes, it is. It really is, Tommy.
That's how you guys know, though. Like when Tommy flips, that's your signal. You know, like he's looking at all the data. I'm looking at like half of it. You know, I don't like to crowd my mind. When Tommy gives the bat signal, it's game time.
I just feel like within the next like week, 2 weeks, there is a unique opportunity for altcoins to rip really hard.
I can tell you the answer, Tommy.
Hang on, Will. Tommy is about to cook.
Go ahead, Tommy.
Let him finish.
Oh, I mean, that was pretty much all I had to say. I really just think like the next 2 weeks specifically, you're going to see a lot of altcoins put in, you know, some mini blow-offs, essentially, right? I mean, I don't know if that's going to be like a $200 SOL or whatever, but I think at least new highs on the year, like 140, 130, 150, whatever, makes sense given what ETH is doing right now. But I don't know if I'm expecting ETH to like mega rip beyond the mid 3000s. Like I think it'll be a quick move. I've always said I thought the ETH outperformance period was going to be a fairly short one. And I would argue that at this point, most people, if you're getting long on ETH, you've probably already missed the majority of the ETH move.
That's
well, locally speaking. Locally,
okay,
locally, yeah.
I think the best thing anybody ever said on Twitter was that we're all just arguing time frames at the end of the day.
You want to? No, Tucker. Ignore that. Look.
That's my man
right there.
Hold on. No, he's kind of right. But Tucker, look at where you just drew that from. Draw the circle underneath that before the flush.
Hang on. No. No circles until the likes get up. Guys, this is insanity. We have 110 people watching on YouTube with 56 likes. We're not even close to a 1-to-1. Guys, I thought we were past this. Now I got to do my spiel again. Guys, if you are enjoying the content, before we continue with the show, if you could just take one quick moment and help us out, guys. There's a lot of people watching right now, and the likes are severely lagging. All we request when we do this free show every single day is that you help push the content. Unfortunately, the algos really heavily reward the videos that get the most likes and stuff like that and comments. So guys, I hate to even bother, but it just makes such a big difference. I wish it didn't matter, you know, and somehow the algo could evaluate our streams based on the quality and the commitment and what's in our hearts. But unfortunately, it's a pretty sort of like binary measurement. It's like yes or no. Did you like it or not? So guys, I have to ask for a favor. Please just take one quick moment. Hit that thumbs up button for us. Hit that like button on Twitter. And if you're on Twitter too, you guys have been killing it. We would love if you could retweet this. If you could just take one moment, hit that like, and also share it with a retweet. It's huge for us, guys. It's huge. We're growing so quickly because of you guys. We just smashed through 3,500, and then today 3,600, like a hot knife through butter. And that's because you guys, you show up every single day just like we do. You know, you guys are the reason that this show ticks, right? You're the reason that we're growing. We take our jobs here seriously. We lost Will. We take our jobs here seriously. We work really hard. We show up every single day. And you guys can tell the difference between a stream like this and some of these clowns that are out there. There's a huge difference. So if you want more people to actually learn how these markets are moving and position accordingly, you can do your part in helping push this content. Help us grow. Hit that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that retweet, do it all. And again, thank you guys so much. And Pete, we're thrilled to have you, man. Pete says, I finally signed up for the Discord yesterday. Should have done it sooner. I will only answer to Giga Chad from now on. Thank you, Giga Chad, Pete. It's great to have you, man. But anyways, Tucker, you can draw your circle now. I was shocked and astonished at the low like count. Forgive me. I didn't mean to interrupt you. It was overwhelming. Like there was a panic that set in. I didn't realize how low the likes were.
Is this what you're talking about, Will? Oh wait, we lost Will. He was
He's
the one
back.
that wanted.
Sorry, I thought we were ending the stream. My bad.
Is this what you wanted?
Yeah, that one. Now,
Okay.
now, go ahead and drop that over there on the right there. Now, go ahead and draw that high there for that flush. Now, I'm not saying it goes down, but I'm saying you got that much room at least.
No, Will, you're not
At
doing
least.
good enough propaganda here.
All right, and arguably,
let me help you.
Yeah, you just flip that. No. Flip it the other way. Literally, just flip it the other way.
Wait a second.
So bring it back down to where you had it.
How does this work? Hang on.
So right click it and say flip.
Tucker, you need to ditch the U. Just take the expansive move after that.
Yeah.
You don't need the U.
I was like, wait, how can I make this fit?
No,
You can keep that drawing, but I mean, you just need the nuke from 143 down to $20 and inverse that. That's what you need.
To $9.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there you go.
Tucker, hold on.
No.
But higher, but way higher than that. But
Listen,
way, yeah.
Tucker,
What?
listen, delete that. I'm gonna show you the move.
I'm locking it.
Yes,
in
just
now.
trust me. I'm gonna. It's the same thing, but you have it wrong.
Describe
the
it.
same fractal you just drew.
So you're saying we go up to 147 and then what?
You don't flip it or any of that stuff.
Will, I'm going to tell you right now, you are the least descriptive person of all time when it comes to trying to describe to
you
Tucker
touch the blue thing and the purple thing. All right?
Dude, look at how much purple there is on the chart.
No, it's playing.
Every bearish candle's purple.
The same fractal you just made, Tucker. All right? The same fractal you just made.
Okay, from where? From
the high to where that rolled up. Yes.
Bro, I don't know what you're...
From here.
Yes. All the way up to the all-time high.
Oh, so go to the left, you're saying, Will?
Yes.
Okay, hang on now.
This is incredible.
Jeez.
I know.
Right
Will
there.
goes, geez.
Now literally flip it the other way. Don't change it. No. Right click it and say flip. There you go. Now go ahead and put that on the circle.
Okay,
now
Will, you cooked, but you did a horrible job telling him what to
do. Man.
You cooked, but man, that was tough to get through. But I'm happy we did it. But I'm really happy we did it.
You see what I'm saying?
Where are we? Maybe
no.
Here?
Now scroll out, Tucker, and look at the shoulder right above the current shoulder on the left. Right before the flush, there's a flush above that.
This?
No, the flush all the way to the left where we went to the bear market in 2022.
Uh-huh.
So go up one more.
To the left.
There you go. That one.
What about it?
Go ahead and draw a line. Then look at your fractal.
Horizontal from the high?
Now pull your fractal.
And he's gone. Just like that. Dude. And Goku, you're spot on, man. Will should be sharing his chart, but half the time Will's in his car driving to go get breakfast when he's on the show, which is why he's not on camera. So whenever Will is in his office, he's always on camera. He's always sharing. But yeah, all right. Here's Will. Will's back.
My God, what just happened? Now pull your fractal to that line. That's it. Just pull the fractal straight up to the line. There you go. That's your move.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. That's good propaganda, Will.
It's good propaganda. It doesn't quite fit, though.
It does. Look at your circle right there. It's almost perfect.
Tucker. But it fits enough.
I mean, what are you implying? We come back to 92?
No. I'm not saying we go to 90. Fractals don't have to be exact, right?
Yeah,
I'm simply stating that this is a good fit, and it's the same as how we flushed, right? You always look for the same way you flushed as the same way you'll come out, because you're going to catch the same resistances. You're going to catch the same supports. It doesn't have to be the exact, like bear down like it did, because you can see right here, if you look to the left on that flush, you had kind of these bottoms, whereas this one's a little more round out, right? So it's a little bit different, but similar.
Yeah, they're
So
never perfect, man. But the
Yeah.
spirit of this
yeah,
move is what we're looking to capture.
yes,
And
I'm
I think
thinking
it
you got
aligns with
that
my
much
bias.
room.
Yeah. No, this is good propaganda, man. This is good propaganda. I feel motivated to actually pull a Tommy right now.
You got some?
I mean, do I have something, Tucker? I mean, I
Let's
have no
hear it.
life, man. Like all I do is just be a husband, father, and chart. You know, that's all I do.
That's real.
Does a bear shit in the woods?
Every day, I'm
Sometimes,
sure. Every
unless it's
day.
in your kitchen.
At least a couple times a day, you'd think. I mean, they eat a lot of food. But listen, guys, this is the most important chart in crypto right here. All right, this is total 2. I shared this with our Discord this morning, but I'm going to share it with you guys now. All right. I don't want you to be confused on where I stand. All right. There will be no hedging of my opinions. They're going to be raw, they're going to be unfiltered, and they're also going to motivate you to smash that like button. All right. Let's keep it real simple, guys. Let's keep it real simple. MACD, but we got to put it on the log. Thank you to FS Crypto for making this. All right. Now, for those that don't know, total 2 is the crypto market cap less Bitcoin. So this is your altcoin index, including ETH, the king of alts. Will's favorite time frame, the monthly time frame. All right. Everybody knows that. Will's favorite time frame is the monthly time frame. There's actually some signal in it. All right. We're going to move it up to the existing pane above. We're going to do a little bit of massaging here just to make it super clear for you guys. All right. So again, I'm going to label these just for you guys right now. All right, let's do this. Total 2. All right. And then we're going to do down here. We'll just move these a little bit to the side. We'll do MACD monthly. All right. Very, very clear what we're looking at right here. Now we're gonna do a little bit of highlighting and shading. All right. MACD bullish cross. We're gonna put it super green. All right. As green as it can. Oh, it's gonna blend in with the candles. We're gonna make it blue as it can be. MACD bullish cross, blue as it can be. All right. MACD bullish cross, blue dot, as blue as it can be. All right. MACD bullish cross, as blue as it can be. All right. Now we're going to go bearish cross. MACD monthly bearish cross. And again, I'm not in love with the MACD, but it's hard to deny the signal. Okay. On the highest of high time frames. It's real, guys. It's very much so real. Look at this chart. Now, contextually, how does this make sense as well? Bear market accumulation. Here, we got to make this way thicker. Bear market accumulation, right? We were accumulating right down here. This was our range low. With our range high, we break out confluent with the MACD cross as well. We're going to do it again right here. Okay. Bear market, range high. Bear market, range low. Who could have foreseen? Oh, man, I can't even adjust it. Now I got to put my dots back. It's a little hard to see here unless we want to get the dots moving. Bear market, range high. Bear market, range low. And I know it's really squinted, so I'll zoom in and show you exactly what I'm talking about. That's real, okay? That's real. That's happening right now. All right, now let's zoom back out. Oh, my dots got all messed up. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Now I got to do this. We'll just drag them. It's fine. Just take a second. But look at these guys. Look at these. You know what? Look at the signal in this. The signal in these moves. You know, this is craziness. You know, like this is absolutely crazy that people are so quick to just fade this. Look at this signal. You know, we have so much time left, guys. In my opinion, we have so much time left. So much time left. And I think people are still dramatically. Let me put it this way. I think there's still a lot of people just like desperate for an entry, just so desperate for an entry. And I really think they're not going to get it. I think this cycle's being front run. I think that TradFi is not waiting for the halving. I think they're positioning before. And subsequently, I think that you are going to get alt season expedited as well. I really do. I think that this whole cycle is being front ran. All of it. It's going to be manic.
Max, I got this tweet one day, and this person messaged me, and it really hit home. And so I don't feel sorry for people anymore. And it was, you get Bitcoin at the price you deserve, right? And the price you deserve depends on the greed that you have. And the greed that you have depends on how much higher or lower you're going to buy it. And remember, Max, we were talking about this, and I bring this up because it hit home, was at 25K to 20, and we were down there and we were hovering, we were looking for, lower pricing, as everybody was saying. And I think the discussion we had was, wouldn't you have killed to had Bitcoin in the 20s in 2021? And everybody out there, I would think, that's been in this market would have said yes. But nobody wanted to bid 20, 25K. They didn't want to bid 30. They don't want to bid 40. Now they don't want to bid 50. So what's their bid? What's their bid? Because I think, like, if you were willing to do that in 2021, why are you not willing to do that when it was available to you?
Yeah, I mean, and I actually, here's the difference, is I actually have a lot more benevolence for most people right now, because it was a grueling bear market and a lot of people lost everything, either from, some of these predatory centralized lending protocols that went down, or they just got their teeth kicked in. And it happens to the best of them. I mean, it was a grueling bear market, and I want people to get positioned, but there's only so much I can do. As we've been screaming on this show since mid 20s and 1684 specifically on ETH and playing altcoins, we don't have the reach of some of these giant channels yet. There's like 600 to 700 people that watch this show every single day. It's the same number every day. Like, go look at our lives. It's the same number of people, same hour of watch time. Like, we have a very devout crowd of people, and like our community's tight knit, but we can't reach, we just simply can't reach like 200,000 people. So you get these clowns, that they actually don't know how to navigate the market at all. And I'm not going to call anybody out, right? I'm just kind of speaking in general. And I think you guys know what I'm talking about. It's all the guys that do the ridiculous faces on their thumbnails, those guys. They lead the sheep to the slaughter, and I feel bad because a lot of them, they had their moments to shine last cycle and they built followings, and they have no idea what's going on, and a lot of them, they're trying to short, and they're just engagement farming, trying to like spook you on the timeline. It's disheartening. But anyways, guys, as much as this is a frustrating chart to look at right here, the Pi cycle top in an environment like this, it needs to be on your watch list, and it's crazy to admit that this indicator alone will probably outperform most guys that are very proficient at TA, myself included. But when you identify it's turn your brain off season, you got to know what like the normie left curve reliable indicators are. And here we talked about this yesterday as well. And guys, what somebody said in the comments earlier, let me find it. Hang on. Somebody said something about the 0.702 or golden pocket. Where is it? They were basically saying that, where did it go? Oh, here we go. All right. Tanner said Bitcoin at its macro 0.702. I have this drawn, man. I would disagree with you. As of right now, it appears as though we have clearly flipped this level. I mean, I have it appropriately drawn. We initially had rejected here. Tucker and I were making fun of the Golden Pocket Boys. They were right for about a week, and they, look at what's happened.
Clowns.
So this is interesting in the sense that this is the first time that we've really flipped the 702 before a Bitcoin halving. Let's go back and take a look at it. Here's the first Bitcoin halving. First bull market. I mean, Bitcoin was $30 here, right? Do we even want to count this? We'll count it, right? Bull market high, bear market low, 702. We had the Bitcoin halving. We didn't tag the 702, which again is the golden pocket, a conservative golden pocket, right? A less conservative one would be the 0.618 traditionally, but we'll move it to the 702. It's conservative. Rejection here after the halving, and then you get expansion. All right, we're going to keep it moving now. Get the same thing right here. This cycle. Okay. Bull market high, bear market low. I have it perfectly drawn. We technically had a weekly close above here, but the following week was a complete bloodbath, right? So that already has not happened here. Okay. So technically we did have a weekly close above here, but immediate rejection, retrace, and then after the Bitcoin halving, which again is this thick black line, then we had our parabola. Okay. Let's keep it moving. Last cycle, you can see how prominent the rejection was in the previous cycle. 2017 high, bear market low. Look at how many attempts we had to get over that golden pocket in June of 2019. Clear rejection. And then the Bitcoin halving happened in May, and we finally got a weekly close above it, and then we went up. Let's fast forward to where we're at right now, guys. This doesn't look like a rejection to me. This looks like a failed breakdown to me. Bull market high, bear market low, multiple weeks of rejection here. Everybody's celebrating the macro, golden pocket rejection. Look at what happened. And look how far out we are from the halving. It's different. It is, in fact, different. I don't know how much more clear I can be. Here's the chart. It's different. We flipped this key level for Bitcoin, and it's never happened before a Bitcoin halving. So I think you have a perfect storm of Bitcoin is on the verge of being an institutionally adopted global asset. You now have a new on-ramp. As a matter of fact, like 9 new on-ramps, being the spot ETFs. There have been roughly 500 to 900 million in inflows on average per day into the spot ETFs, which is like 2 or 3 times the miner output, or like the freeing up of new Bitcoins from miners. I mean, we're getting a supply squeeze here in real time, guys. We are getting a serious supply shortage in real time. That's exactly what's happening. There's no other way to interpret it. This isn't like, you have new players in the arena. Okay. This market is not controlled by Bitfinex whales anymore, man. Those guys are minnows compared to the players that just entered the arena. I mean, you're talking about guys that have net worths personally of $30 billion plus. And you're also talking about their companies that are, controlling multiple trillions of dollars of liquidity. It's not a meme anymore that Bitcoin, only has a supply of 21 million. And as a matter of fact, I said this yesterday, it's basically less than that because there's 5 to 7 million Bitcoin that are gone forever, that were thrown away on hard drives in the early days of Bitcoin. So this cycle is actually ahead of schedule. It is actually being front ran. Maybe it's the institutions alone, or maybe it's that the halving is out of the bag. Why do you need to wait until after the halving to position?
Here's the thing, Max. If you historically wait till after the halving to position at any point in the market, from low to high, you've probably underperformed, right? There's only been one cycle, and that was 2020, where you could have maybe performed if you caught the dip, right? That didn't last very long because everybody thought it was going to go lower. And majority of people didn't enter there. Majority of people did not enter on the pandemic low. They all sat sidelined thinking lower was going to happen. They all sat here and looked to their financial advisors The one guy on Twitter has like 800K followers, telling everybody we're going to 30K, and so on and so forth. And this is the problem with crypto. Here's the thing though that I want to point out. If we surpass all-time high before the halving, how much higher do you think we'll go? I mean, for me, I think that's an extreme scenario to where I think the market is so bullish. This thing's going to go way higher than most of these people think it's going to go, right?
And
I
I
think
keep
if we
saying
break
that
up,
too, Will, is that most people are talking about 10 trillion total crypto market cap. I think we're going to slice through that. I think institutions are going to go so far out on the risk curve, it's going to make us feel queasy. You know, this is their
and
first cycle, man. This is Bitcoin for them back in 2013. You know, this is ICO. This is pre-ICO days.
Well, Max, do you
Also,
remember how you felt when you first discovered some of these risky altcoins? That's how these guys are going to feel, but they have a lot more money than we did back then, for
and
sure.
that's what I keep saying, man, is like there's this glass ceiling that we impose upon ourselves. Our minds truly cannot fathom the idea of your worthless vaporware altcoin being worth 100 to 200 billion in market cap. Because we say, oh, well, Solana, a legitimate project, reached 80 billion last cycle. Okay. Well, I give this example all the time, guys. It's like Apple hits a trillion market cap, and what, 2 or 3 years later, it's like tripled in market cap effectively. It took 25 or 30 years for it to reach a 1 trill valuation. And then it took another 2 years for it to triple from there. As they keep on printing money and debasing the dollar, these valuations are going to continue to get crazier and crazier. And the total crypto asset class is like sub 2 trillion market cap. I mean, you're talking about every single crypto project being worth less than some of your top mega cap tech companies. And you feel as though you're late and the valuations are bloated. Craziness, man.
Max, I want to put this up because I've seen some prominent figures put USDT, and actually Max Colby is the one who asked for this, and I agree. This is so bearish. This chart itself is bearish, right? And everybody says, "Oh, look, the top was in here, and the top was in here, and the top was in here, and same thing here. And once we hit this line, sell everything." I mean, look at the look. This is so bearish. This is unfathomably bearish.
You know what that chart looks like, Tucker?
Dude, this is going so much lower. What?
TRB.
Yes, dude.
Oh,
this looks
man.
terrible. This isn't gonna it's not gonna oh, because we hit this line, we're just gonna rip. No, look at this. This is done. This is cooked.
And it's kind of giving me like 64, 69K Bitcoin top vibes. Like that looks like a clear distribution up there.
Oh, that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and I actually wonder if USDT dominance just completely capitulates. And we were talking about that this morning in Discord.
Yeah.
Radiant brought it up. This idea that perhaps we actually nuke back down to like 1.5% this cycle. And we see a full-blown, stable coin capitulation.
Yeah.
Because it's like the new players in this space, they don't have an interest in stabling up, man. Like they'll hold dollars, T-bills, or just like Bitcoin, like there's no reason for Tether dominance to be overwhelmingly bullish unless we see big players preferring to trade perps and get long exposure, collateralizing their stable coins versus holding spot, which I don't really foresee happening, truthfully.
I think at the top, they'll want to collateralize more with coins because the greed will be higher. So I think an uptick in coin margin is what you want to pay attention to from a cyclical standpoint, to put a top in, because that's something we talked about on this show before a lot. The crash in May of 2021, not only did it completely incinerate coin margin longs, but the market from that point forward completely shifted to Tether denominated futures. So I think it's something that as people want to essentially long their longs, as we get higher and higher up, you're going to see more coin margin probably coming in.
God,
but I think it's going to be difficult to unseat Tether as, the king of as far as like denominating stable coins or denominating futures, just because it is used as kind of, it is used like what Bitcoin used to be in 2017 and 2018, right? You convert alts into Bitcoin. Now you convert everything into Tether.
When do you think coin margin open interest is going to go crazy, Tommy? Like, when do you foresee that happening?
It's tough to know. That's really tough to know. When Bitcoin goes parabolic, it's usually because of coin margin longs and the convexity that they can cause. I mean, you can see it on Coinalyze, for example. But the thing that happened in May of 2021 also caused a lot of coins to shift hands. So people that are going to be coin margin longing probably need to get those coins back into their hands, whether they've gotten them in their hands over the last 3 or 4 years, or whether they're going to do it again when we run up parabolically. I still think that's just something that we have to look for. But, I think the Tether grind higher could probably continue realistically. And then, but I do think the long-term destination of this chart is down.
Dude, it looks awful.
That looks
It
abysmal.
looks so bad.
Abysmal. It's cratering.
Yeah.
And you had a nice comparison up with Bitcoin's top last cycle. Would you put that back up? I actually thought that was pretty interesting. You might have to work on the time frames a little bit, but
just the I moved the time frame, didn't I? Just the distribution and then the nuke, right? Like,
I can see it, man.
Let's get rid of that. Just this.
Yeah. Oh man. That little retest right there, Tucker, that we just had off the bottom of that green box.
Yeah.
That is abysmal, man.
Yeah,
imagine if you owned that coin,
Dude. You're like right there, man.
Could you take Bitcoin on the lower time frames? Actually, I'm curious if we had a similar retest on that green box as well. Kinda.
Yeah. I mean, it depends. Where you draw the box from, but
yeah, whatever. I mean,
you can draw it from there. Like, that is a pretty decent retest.
We're cratering, man. We're absolutely cratering.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, I actually I don't know. I just think this cycle is being completely front ran, and everybody, the narrative that I kept hearing leading into the Bitcoin halving was, one, it's a sell the news event. It's an obvious sell the news event. And we said, absolutely not. This is a buy the rumor and buy the news event. Yes, you did get a little local sell-off. Doesn't mean it was a big sell-off, to be fair. But you have to left curve something like this, okay? But the narrative I kept hearing was, okay, guys, I'm going to, there's always a pre-halving shakeout. I'm going to buy, the nuke before the Bitcoin halving. I've got this chart and it says it's going to happen. And then Bitcoin nukes 22% in less than 2 weeks. And they go, nope, that's not what I was talking about. And now we're higher. What more do you want? The halving is in 2 months. And you wanted, when we were at 49K, you said we were going to 32 or 35 and you were going to bid there. And then we didn't go there. And now we're at 52 and a half. I don't know. Someone help me here. Like, I can't.
I know. It's weird.
Can't reconcile this. It's behavior.
Cope, Max. It's just cope, man. It's going to continue. The entire cycle is what's going to happen. So, yeah. I mean, what are we sitting at? 50. Come on.
52.3.
52.3. What's going on with the dynamic here, right? So we got Bitcoin up 1%, ETH up 2%. Everything else is deep red. Like.
So let's do this, Tucker. I think that total 2 chart is your answer. Maybe you could zoom out on Bitcoin here.
To what?
I don't know. Maybe the weekly.
Oh, wow. You mean really zoom out, huh?
Sorry, the 5 second.
Yeah.
Maybe you could click the plus button in the upper left corner. Let's throw on total 2 on the bottom.
Total 2.
Because when you can see when total 2, it's the chart that I talked about earlier. All right. You can see when total 2 really started to outperform.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, guys, for those that are unaware still, total 2 is the entire crypto asset class less Bitcoin. So you might have to put both in log just so we can kind of see the timing of last cycle. just too big. So, when did Total 2 begin to really outperform Bitcoin? And it's more or less right after Bitcoin made a new all-time high. But again, I have a suspicion that this cycle is being front ran, and ETH BTC has probably put in a bottom, and we're going to continue to see ETH play catch up. Subsequently, I think we're going to see a lot of altcoins dramatically outperforming Bitcoin, and that's not a bearish posture at all for Bitcoin. It's just Bitcoin dominance has been up only, looking really solid. And I have reason to believe that Bitcoin dominance is going to start moving down here and is not going to go to the highly sought after 60%. I don't think it's going to happen.
That's when we breached it. You don't know when this is going to happen. But yeah, so I mean, you could argue we're somewhat in this this box right here. That's probably where you're at on Total 2, right? Because yeah, you're not going to breach all-time highs for probably another month or two. Yeah, you probably just grind higher. I mean, it looks good, right? Like, it doesn't look bad by any means.
I can't fade that USD chart, even if it underperforms in the very short term. I can't do it.
What, Bitcoin?
Could you throw up one more chart for me on the very bottom? Just put up Bitcoin dominance and put it in log.
Oh, did it not put it on the bottom? No, it didn't.
So this is... So let's look at what happened here. When did Bitcoin dominance start cratering last cycle? That's the important part, because Bitcoin dominance starts cratering with bullish price action when you get alt mania. All right. So the big question is, in the previous, I guess, even 1 or 2 cycles, that's what we're trying to figure out here is we want Bitcoin to perform very well. Obviously, it needs to. But the big question is not does Bitcoin perform well, but when do you rotate into alts that will 50x? Oh, Chef Jackus in the comments.
All right.
Chef Jackus, everyone's been asking about you, man. People are famished without your cooking. Jackus says, hello, team. Chef is getting ready to come back and prepare some delicious food for you. Not sure if tomorrow or Monday, if my body allows me. Oh, and don't forget to smash the like button, guys. Thank you, Jackus. Well, we hope you're feeling better. Rest up. We can cook in the meantime. I mean, between the 3 of us, we've got some decent barbecuing skills. We can prepare a nice meal. But yeah, guys, what we're really trying to determine is when does Bitcoin dominance crater? And we want Bitcoin dominance to crater, by the way. We're not Bitcoin maxis in that regard. We are in the sense that Bitcoin is arguably, at this point, the only established legitimate global asset for sure. It's the only money in digital property. But I want my altcoins to 50x, as do you guys. So when does Bitcoin dominance? When does it start? Bitcoin probably needs to make a new all-time high, or at least, get really close. Because again, I think it might be front ran, but maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, it's still you want Total 2 above all-time highs. Really, is when you see Bitcoin dominance just nuke. Obviously, that makes sense, but that didn't really happen until you had the first big correction. Bitcoin broke all-time highs, and then it went up. Let me get the wick. It went up to 40 and pulled back to 29. I remember that. That was wild.
And then
Elon happened right here. Yeah.
No, Elon bought the lows, man. I remember I was sitting at a buddy's apartment, and the Elon tweet came out that they bought Bitcoin at 29K or something like that, or might have been low 30s.
It was
and then we
low
just
30s,
rocket shipped off that low.
I remember that. Yeah. And then that's the same time period. This pullback is when Bitcoin dominance really started. It wasn't the top, but
do you remember the monthly RSI that we talked about yesterday for Bitcoin, Tucker?
Oh yeah.
Because that actually kind of wait. Command Z that. Command Z that. You can get rid of total too, but let's keep Bitcoin dominance up. If you could throw on monthly RSI for Bitcoin, you could keep it on the weekly if you wanted, and then just fix the RSI to monthly. So you just have to put RSI on. And then, yeah, there you go. There you go. Time frame at the very bottom. Put it on monthly. Now let's do this. Draw a
get rid of this yellow line.
Yeah, there we go. All right. So when Bitcoin last cycle, Bitcoin dominance topped more or less when Bitcoin broke that 70 level for monthly RSI. And that's when the real bull market begins. That's what we talked about yesterday. So what we're seeing this cycle is that
80.
we get a new monthly close,
80.
or we get a new monthly candle in 2 weeks, and Bitcoin's monthly RSI will in fact be above 70. If you guys don't remember this analysis, we went through it yesterday in great detail. I also have a tweet about it, so we don't need to pull it all up again today, but you can go to my Twitter and look at it. It's like my second or third most recent post. When Bitcoin monthly RSI breaks 70 is when you get like a year of mania. All right. So that's 80. You have that line drawn at 80. I'm talking about 70.
I know, but 80 was the top for Bitcoin dominance.
It looks like it was a little before, no?
Wait, what are you talking about? This? You want this top when it nuked?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 80.
Is it 80?
Yeah. It's 70. It's 70. It would have been like,
I guess we did have like
you'd be close, but it topped out at like dominance topped out at 72.
Yeah.
Right. So you had like another 10% almost to go on dominance before it topped. So 80 on RSI is dominance peaking.
So since every cycle, like if you had more price history on Bitcoin, like if you were looking at BLX, you would see that the monthly RSI is continuing to, I guess, basically make lower highs, like diminished volatility, right? Both to the upside and the downside. Time will tell if that lasts.
Yeah.
But then I guess the question is like, when we finally break through that 70, 72, 73 level, when we finally take that next leg up and monthly RSI for Bitcoin is in like mania territory, does Bitcoin dominance start nuking now, And that's kind of what I'm expecting is like once we break above that dashed line that's on the RSI, it's like 70 roughly. Bitcoin dominance should be very, very close to a local top. I don't think Bitcoin USD needs to make a new all-time high. And I would expect altcoins, between March, April, May, June to just go nuts.
80 max. I'm going to have to be firm on this one, brother. It's 80. It's not 70.
Whoa. Go back,
It's
brother.
Truly
go
not.
back.
I'm saying if you're just looking at Bitcoin dominance and monthly RSI, it's 80. I'm not saying Bitcoin won't expand, but this was the top in Bitcoin dominance. RSI was at 82.
Let's go back to the previous cycle then. Let's look at that one too.
Yeah.
Okay, when did we start nuking here?
We started nuking where do you want to
be precise? Be very, very precise.
Bitcoin dominance was at 98%.
Yep.
Where do you even want to?
Right there. Now to the left, man. When it started nuking. Nuking before that.
You could say the top was 78, 79, and then it pulled back and then it ripped.
Are you guys looking at dominance? There was a W formation at the low when Bitcoin fell over.
So yeah, man. This is the most accurate. This cycle it went from 98 to.
So here's the
35.
thing. We gapped up last month from like 60 to 68 for monthly RSI. This next month we're gonna gap up to like 75 in 2 weeks. You're gonna be there in 2 weeks, whether it's at 70 or 80. You're gonna be pushing mid 70s by next month. Things are heating up quick.
Really, all we're talking about is we want Bitcoin dominance to top. So
I think it is topping, by the way. Like I think this is your distributive top right here, and I think it's about to crater. And I think that the normie target is the obvious 60%. They want that perfect retest of the underside of that supply. Right there, you're not going to get that. I think it's going to nuke. I do.
Max,
Maybe a deviation above the previous high, but I think you're getting ready for alt season, and I think Ethereum is telling you that.
if you look at the support of the previous dominance area too, that's right where you're resisting right now. So yeah, it could definitely start nuking overall. As far as I honestly think it looks like a lower high. It looks like a lower high to me. The dominance. I don't think we're going to reach that high that everybody's looking for up there in dominance. It's really hesitating here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a distributive top, in my opinion. Oh, there's balloons.
I saw it. I saw it. Yeah.
Oh, it must have been distributive. That was the key word.
Yeah. All right, I've been doing a lot of talking. Someone else cook.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. Give me 75 to 80.
Tucker, draw the support line right there on that.
Oh,
on the dominance.
My God, Will. There's three charts on the screen.
I just said the dominance. I literally just said the dominance.
I know. Well, first you said just draw the support line right there, brother.
Because you had the dominance open, and I was talking about the dominance.
Where do you want it? Where do you want it?
Lower. Farther to the left, all the way to the left.
Your
scroll out.
Share your screen. This is insanity.
Yeah, it's very hard to figure out.
All the way to the left. All the way to the left. Right there. Now, if you look at that, that's kind of where we're hanging out at, right at the moment. But this thing could definitely flip back down, and this could be kind of that.
I have an idea, Tucker. I have an idea. You want to get exotic on this chart?
Yeah.
Why are there balloons again? What's happening?
I saw that too.
All right.
That has to be
invert the chart for me. Invert the chart for me.
See Bitcoin.
Giant bull flag. Giant bull flag. Do you see a giant bull flag?
Like the whole chart?
The whole thing. Do you see a giant bull flag?
This.
I told you we were getting exotic. Now draw it from the highs as well. You see a bull flag?
I guess.
Oh man, what if we have a half a decade bull flag forming here on Bitcoin dominance, and altcoins are about to go nuts
on inverse Bitcoin dominance?
I'm just saying.
Just one of these. Oh, I
told you it was exotic. I warned you.
I think it literally needs to kind of bounce here, or else it looks really ugly. That inverted chart.
Look at the top of last cycle. So this is inverted, right? Look at the move where Bitcoin dominance topped last cycle. It deviated below this trend line. See that? It started to break down, and it put in a swing fail. Maybe we do something again.
Yeah, I could see it. Let's. Yeah, see, it looks like you're like in here though, just from a. Why does it do that? Price action standpoint, Why does it do that, dude? This is pissing me off. Trading View won't listen to me when I click their buttons. I mean, right? I don't know. That seems too late. Yeah, that's still like pre-halving year, right? So it's a bit too late, but dude, what's happening right now? Maybe it's because it's inverted. It's messing with it.
Whenever you try to put a fractal on Bitcoin dominance, it doesn't like it.
It doesn't work. Yeah, I see that.
Because it's in percentage rather than a price scale.
Yeah, it's not gonna work.
Well, you can make it work. It's just you might be massaging for like a while to try to get it right.
You think it's on this chart? So, oh
wow.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that today. Oh geez. Oh, I just took it out of log.
Hey, interesting. Someone on Twitter said, looks like ETH BTC. Kind of does, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense, right? Given
Yeah,
that,
that makes sense.
but it's
But
kind of like if you're
way lower.
expecting, if we're expecting the low for ETH to be in here, you should also expect the low for Bitcoin dominance to be in here.
I don't know
The
if I think that it,
The inverse.
Or the top,
low.
sorry, the top.
Yeah, the top.
I don't know
of
if I
it
think
down.
that it is, just because I don't think Bitcoin's hit its cyclical high. And I know that we need.
It doesn't need.
hit the
Bitcoin
cyclical
doesn't
high.
need to hit
We're
its
not even
cyclical
trading
high.
above all-time
Yeah.
highs. I don't think we're due for a rotation into alts yet, but I think a lot of alt charts look set up for some significant candles to the upside, right? I mean, that you can see it on Sol, you can see it on ETH, AVAX, yeah.
Those are countering each other there, Tommy. Your conversation there.
How so? What do you mean?
You said alts look set up to run, but I don't see a significant rotation to alts.
Yeah, which means Bitcoin's eventually, if they're going to rip, it either means one of two things, right? It means Bitcoin's approaching a local high and we're about to get a rotation into alts, or the second, scenario is that Bitcoin has a lot higher to go, right? So,
Yeah, and Bitcoin does not need to hit its cycle highs for dominance. Like those.
But historically, it has hit all-time high, not cycle high, but it has broken through all-time high before dominance starts nuking.
Yes, it's close.
Like it broke through previous all-time highs.
Hang on, let's see exactly when was this.
But that's my argument is that this time I feel like the cycle's being front ran and it might not need to be. It might not be the same.
I mean, what are we even talking about here? Look at this chart, dude.
It's insane. It's incredible strength.
I just feel like that I was more confident in that rotation in the alts before I looked at the Bitcoin dominance chart. I actually don't really think that it either tops here or it's going to go to like 60 or 65.
Dude, Tommy.
And I think that ultimately what that's going to lead to is a bigger alt season, but it just might mean the timing is different. Because
I can't reconcile Bitcoin dominance going to 60%.
Like that looks bullish. That looks really bullish, Max.
Okay, but what's contradicting that is the ETH USD and ETH BTC pair. ETH USD has been leading Bitcoin and holding up stronger on dips, and ETH BTC it appears stubbornly put in a bottom. I can't reconcile Bitcoin dominance making another leg up if ETH is going to outperform Bitcoin here. I could see ranging, I could see maybe another stab at the highs, but if you're talking about a huge move like that, ETH BTC is going to have to nuke. There's no other way around it.
Yeah, but Max, let's ask the real question here. All right, if you're fully exposed, like 1,000%, which means you're probably living under a bridge and eating ramen out of a sun-heated pot. At that point, does it matter of any of this? Does any of this matter other than how bullish you are on the market right at the moment?
Yeah, it's just more of a debate, right? Like we're all in agreement. We're going higher, much higher. It's just
when
how do the
always
rotations
the
play
argument.
out? And again, Tucker drew it. Look at these charts. If Bitcoin dominance went to 60% or 65%, ETH BTC is going to be down at 0.04. That's the truth. And I look at ETH BTC, it looks bottomed. I look at ETH USD, it's holding up stronger than BTC. So that's where I struggle with thinking Bitcoin dominance. And I'm open to a deviation above the highs for Bitcoin dominance.
I just don't think ETH BTC looks as good as you say it looks. Like it looks okay.
It's trying to bottom.
It's trying to bottom. Yeah, it just doesn't look like it doesn't. I just don't think that means it's going to go up imminently.
Can I add some context to the conversation real quick?
Does the conversation need context?
A little bit.
Okay.
I'll tell you this. I've been talking about diving dumpsters since like October, September, December of last year. All of my altcoins have dramatically outperformed Bitcoin and ETH. And I think that pattern is going to continue. So to me, at the end of the conversation, ETH BTC in my eyes never mattered, right? While a lot of people, I'm not saying to us like the discussion's fun, it's entertaining, and I feel like some people have made a narrative around it in the space, but to me, it's never mattered because my outperformance has been based on me knowing where to put my money at each time and being able to make money off of those moves. And some of those I haven't even moved them, Max. I've eaten the entire volatility. Haven't traded once, right? And I think Grant had a great point up there too. I think it was pretty far up there, but he pointed out one thing and he's like, a lot of people right now are trying to over trade the market versus trying to get positions before the market actually starts getting legs. So I don't know if that's good context, but I think it's much needed context.
No, it's a good point. But also what you're talking about is you're talking about on-chain altcoins that are not tethered, no pun intended, to ETH BTC, either ETH or BTC. We're talking about major centralized altcoins that have multi-billion-dollar market caps that are paired to the performance of Ethereum and Bitcoin and will only move and outperform when ETH BTC starts moving up. That's the difference. So you've been outperforming.
Sorry, Max.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I do think there is some truth to the idea that we don't have to pay attention to ETH Bitcoin anymore for because the risk proxies are at least the market's kind of shown us in the last 4 to 6 months, the risk proxies for altcoins have been Sol Bitcoin and Sol ETH. But, the conversation started with Bitcoin dominance, which I definitely think you can argue you can argue it's at an inflection point either way, but to the conversation of other altcoins outperforming Bitcoin, yeah, other altcoins are always going to outperform Bitcoin. You nailed the timing of that inflection point back in October. So it's not a surprise that, the beta that you bought to Bitcoin has outperformed it, right? It's just a matter of, how well is it going to hold up throughout the cycle? And I'm sure you know that, but I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, but I think these same beta plays play into the cycle, and I think that at the end of the cycle they're going 99x down, if not completely to zero, right? But it's about performance and knowing that I need to take exit positions as Bitcoin starts to chad right outside of what all-time high. That's where I need to start slowly dialing out, and I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to slowly start dialing out into the cycle. Obviously, leave some risk movements. But I think dialing out, even from the moment Bitcoin pokes its head above all-time high, I'll still outperform Bitcoin by stupid amounts of percentages.
Dude, when Bitcoin gets above all-time high, that's when the real fun begins, Will. That's when the dumpster diving should really heat up.
It gets extreme at that point.
And it's funny, everybody wants Bitcoin above all-time high. That's when I don't want any Bitcoin. That's when I want to take all my money and throw it in altcoins.
I've got how many likes are we at, Max? I've got a pattern that I kind of recognize right now.
All right, let's see. We're at 109. Oh, guys, you didn't disappoint today. Thank you.
I know I said I wouldn't, 109, but I'm going to fuddy.
I'll give you the narrative to kind of add context to the conversation too. And this is something I came up with. Actually, I didn't think about it in the 2017 cycle, but in 2021, I thought about it. And I was like, when speculation gets high, money runs to speculation. What's the highest speculation plays in crypto? It's new projects, it's launches, right? So what's the best place to get new projects and launches? And I was like, oh, it's launch pads. So why don't I go in on all the launch pads and see what happens? I can tell you, I've 40Xs, 30Xs, 20, just stupid amounts off the lows, because once risk starts to show its face, the riskiest plays start to play. And people are already trying to front run these positions, because a $500 position right now that you could have gotten the bottom of the bear in 2021 would have cost you $250,000. $500. You can get a gold tier position on some of these launch pads, and in the bull run they were roughly $250K for the same tier. And people were paying that. And I expect this cycle to be way frothier than 2021. And guess what? No money printing, guys. And we're still going to get way more froth, I think, than what we did in 2021.
I think so too. But that doesn't, I'm going to FUD ETH against Bitcoin here real quick though, guys. Tucker, I'd like you to invert that Bitcoin dominance chart for me again.
Let's do it.
What does that chart look like to you guys when you zoom out?
Looks like ETH BTC much, much lower though.
Doesn't it also kind of look a little bit like Bitcoin's double top though too?
Oh, Tommy.
I'm not saying ETH is going all the way back below like the 30K equivalent, but looking at that ETH Bitcoin structure right now, and then I look at the Bitcoin range that we put in between the months of February to May of 2022.
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
Can I verbally counter you quickly?
Sure.
You said on the chart on the left that it looks like Bitcoin's double top. I view that as the first top, and we're about to run up to the second top.
But what about this?
That was your 2017 cycle. So if we're talking about, yeah, I see the 64K Wyckoff distribution top. We're right now in the summer lows at 28K.
I don't know. I
Hey,
mean, the top looks more distributed.
I have to counter any bearishness that doesn't directly benefit my bags.
I think it's more bullish Bitcoin than necessarily bearish ETH. Although I am FUDding ETH though, like I said, but
that's okay.
It's not necessarily out of ETH USD bearishness. And I think that honestly, the lower ETH Bitcoin goes, it just means to me the higher Bitcoin is going to go in this cycle. I agree with Dr. Will's outlook. I honestly think like we could be having a cycle that spans all the way into 2027. I know people want that 2025 top, but we could literally be having a cycle that spans into 2027. And it could be much larger than people expect. And I say that because liquidity cycles, the expected, I think, next top on liquidity cycles, assuming that we, maintain the kind of the amount of time in between peaks and troughs that we've kind of had over the last 10 to 20 years, that top of the liquidity cycle is in 2027. So I think we can have a lot of ups and downs, but ultimately, like, you might just be seeing like this massive broadening up trend all the way out until 2027.
Could you imagine?
That'd be great for business. That'd be great for business.
Could you imagine the smell on Twitter if we continued to chat all the way into 2027? Like,
we'll have some big pullbacks, I would imagine. I mean, I don't think you're not suggesting straight up. You're probably thinking
like a massive megaphone for multiple years, and then I mean, you probably get a Bitcoin breakout in like 2025 or 2026. I'm talking about like the parabolic, like 5 or 6x within 3 or 4 months type of Bitcoin breakout. And then you just see altcoins probably go ballistic for much longer than we saw in the last cycle, because I think the run up will have been that much greater. I mean, this is probably like the super cycle scenario unironically playing out, but it's going to be very difficult for people to kind of see it through, because we are going to have a lot of ups and downs. And if it's going to function like a megaphone, both in terms of price and sentiment, then yeah, there's going to be a lot of volatility in between.
Dude, where was this megaphone you were looking at?
Are you talking about the equity markets in the 70s, Tommy? Like that megaphone pattern?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean, kind of like that, yeah. But
oh, Jesus Christ.
I mean,
not quite that for Bitcoin, but
that ultimately resolved in a huge expansion to the upside.
Yeah.
So what if Bitcoin goes? What if Bitcoin ranges and basically, what if Bitcoin goes up to like 120K, pulls back down to 50, and kind of does like a major high time frame vertical accumulation like the S&P 500 did in the 70s, and then like 5 years from now, it goes to like 600K or something.
No, calling for the 70s is calling for lower lows.
Max, with the way that the Bitcoin ETF hit, man, like, the sky's the limit, man. I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, like, it's not even funny. And I know a lot of people are, why would you buy Bitcoin? Because look, I expect altcoins to get absolutely annihilated and go to zero, right? But I don't expect that for Bitcoin. So when the bear run comes, even though I know there's risk to the downside, I'm willing to take a 50% hit to be in Bitcoin to not miss the move before it actually happens while your alts completely go to zero.
So, Will, Michael Saylor said this, and I found myself watching Michael Saylor old podcasts recently, which might be a top signal, but I fucking love Michael Saylor, man. I love him. But anyways, he said Bitcoin's either going to $1 million or it's going to zero.
There is no in between. There's no in between.
It's literally like it's going to zero or it's going to $1 million. It's either a legitimate global reserve asset. It's a digital commodity. Obviously, a commodity has no issuer. It just has a cost of production to retrieve. And it's going to $1 million per unit as it's denominated in fiat currencies that bleed in perpetuity against fixed supply in demand assets. Or
where are we getting that number? Where is this $1 million number?
It's not an actual like $1 million. It's like it's just going up for infinity. As long as it's denominated in a fiat currency that's continuing to be debased against an in-demand digital commodity, which has no issuer, Bitcoin will effectively, it will go up forever. Maybe it's 500K, maybe it's 1 million, maybe it's 10 million. It's over many, many decades, right? But the point being is like Bitcoin, if Bitcoin remains in demand, it will eventually trend into the 7 and 8 figure valuations decades from now. If Bitcoin is deemed illegal and there's a problem with it and Satoshi dumps all of his coins or something that we don't know about now happens and it goes to zero, there's no in between. Like there's no chance Bitcoin just establishes a high time frame value between 100K and 200K unless they fix fiat currencies and they establish an equity-based fiat currency rather than a debt-based one. If they materially shift, don't even pull that up. If they change if you value Bitcoin in another currency that has a fixed supply, if we went back onto the gold standard, Bitcoin would not do well, in my opinion. Bitcoin would not do well. It wouldn't. The best thing for Bitcoin is that our fiat currencies continue to be debased in perpetuity forever. And if that's the case, Bitcoin trends up to infinity.
Okay.
And $1 million is not what it used to be. So by the time Bitcoin's $1 million US, it's not worth that much.
We need to. Is this what was called for? Is this what we were just talking about?
I didn't call for that.
That's a megaphone.
I don't think Bitcoin's going to do something like that, but like equities might.
Look, if Bitcoin did something like that, that'd be fun. I'm not gonna lie.
That would be a blast, man. I don't think crypto could really handle that much volatility from like a structural standpoint after how bad the last bear market proved to be. But I think equities could absolutely get over it.
It's literally not possible for Bitcoin. I mean, we didn't go here and then what, zero? Like what are we even talking about? Like
no, it's not really that. It would be similar, but it wouldn't be the whole market cap. But I did want to add some context.
Leverage.
It would be lower lows. It would be literally lower lows and higher.
Yeah,
but that's not happening. That's not happening.
You really think we're gonna go to 80 and then like 10K?
Capo was right.
Look, I'm okay with whatever, right? I'm playing this out. But the thing is, I wanted to add some context. What Max was kind of getting to, it's not really the number, right? Like he went to two extremes. He went to 1 million and he went to zero. The point of that, it has a deeper meaning. The deeper meaning is that it's either the narrative of Bitcoin is true or it's not, right? If it's not, it goes to zero. If it is, it goes to $1 million. It doesn't matter which side you stand on. You stand on one side or the other. And if you think it's zero, why the hell are you here? Why are you investing? Not here on this channel, but because we talk about stocks too. But why are you investing in crypto at all? If you think it's not going to zero, then at that point you're in here as an opportunist trying to take advantage of opportunity, and you understand the directionality and you understand where this is going, right? And regardless, and here's the thing: the more people that hate crypto, it only debases the people involved with it. It allows them to feel more empowered in what they're doing. Like you can't sit there and consistently attack something and think that everybody's going to think it's wrong. It's not the case at all. This is a free market at its freest, 24 hours a day, round the clock trading. and the world decides what the direction of the price is. And some of you may be like, well, there's bigger actors, they have bigger bag. Okay, who cares? You can get a bigger bag if you have more money. It's just a matter of people wanting to step into the arena. That's all it is.
I just want to clarify. I made that comment about Capo completely ironically. I don't actually think Capo.
No. But guys, we have been going for an hour and a half, so this is where we're going to wrap it up. Guys, thanks so much for being here as always. If you haven't yet, please consider liking and also subscribing if you are new here. We did slice through 3,600 on YouTube, guys. Absolutely fantastic. Big thank you to all of you guys for supporting us. So please continue to support us by liking. And then again, if you are new here, please also subscribe to the channel, guys. Help us get to 4,000 here on YouTube. Coming up, it's going to be quick. Also, guys, check out the first link in the description below. That will take you to becausebitcoin.com/premium, where you can browse our premium services as well as read reviews on what we have to offer and testimonials from our current members. Right now, it's just a Discord, but I don't mean just a Discord in a bad way. I mean, right now, it's just a Discord, and we share active positions, and we do 2 hours a day of private voice calls with the entire Because Bitcoin team and community. Absolutely unparalleled experience. No doubt it will take your trading to the next level. There's some comments earlier. You guys check them out in the chat. People join. They love it. They stay. They can't imagine living without it. We are going to be there every step of the way through this bull market and this next phase in crypto. And you get to see behind the curtain how I'm positioning Tucker, Tommy, Will, Wabi, Jackus. You get to see behind the curtain. So if you want to see behind the curtain access to how we are navigating these markets and also see all of our private premium analysis that we do not share or talk about on YouTube or on Twitter, consider joining the Discord right now. It is $149.99 per month. It's basically $5 per day. When our new flagship product, the BB Terminal, comes out right around the Bitcoin halving, prices are going to go up dramatically. Again, the BB Terminal is effectively a Bloomberg terminal, but for crypto guys, it's our new flagship product that we are extremely, extremely proud of. We spent a lot of time, money, and resources, poured our hearts into this in the design so far. So we're really excited for its launch. Again, it's coming in about 2 months. That's going to be bundled together with the existing Discord. So everybody that's in the Discord is going to get early access to it and lifetime access to it. As long as they don't cancel their membership, they will be grandfathered in to the current price. And again, just a reminder, in less than 60 days, prices are going to go up dramatically. And I know a lot of you are going to want to use the BB Terminal, and then you're going to go, okay, you know what would go really nicely with the BB Terminal is the Discord membership. Oh, wow, the Discord membership is so expensive now. Max, do you think you could issue me a coupon code? Like, I didn't know. And I'm going to go, oh, man, like I feel bad, but I did tell you every day for like 4 months, you know. So let's just avoid that conversation, guys. Join the Discord now. We had like 35 new members join yesterday. And also, you know, just to be fully transparent, like the intent of the dramatic price increase that's coming is to deter people from joining so that it doesn't get overly crowded. It's going to be a very tight-knit circle, and you will only be able to get in once people drop. So once that happens, that's it. You know, you're going to have to pay an arm and a leg to get in. It's going to be a very tight-knit inner circle. You could still use the BB Terminal and watch the YouTube show, but Discord's going to kind of be off the table unless you want to pay an arm and a leg. And I'm telling you, in a couple months, that's what it's going to cost. So join now while you still can. At least check it out at the current price. It's a really awesome product. We work really hard at it. We're proud of it. But anyways, let's kick it on over to Snorlax to say a final farewell.
All right. Happy Thursday. Like I said at the start of the show, guys, let's finish this week strong. A reminder that we do have some more programming here into the end of the week, starting with Market Talk this afternoon. We have that Thursday and Friday here, as well as Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, typically as the schedule throughout the weeks. That's hosted by King Wabi, and the typical start time is around 4:15 to 4:30 Eastern time. Show talks markets, all things crypto, equities, everything in between. They've got some really exceptional speakers up there pretty much every day. So definitely make sure to tune in for that. And of course, Market Check will be back for another episode tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And we are live every single day at the same time. Love bringing you guys as much alpha as we possibly can. Thank you so much for hitting the like button today, guys. And I'm really excited to see that we're getting so many new Giga Chads coming in. Excited to see some of you new guys in the Discord here over the next few days. But that's all from us. things are going well. I'm excited for the next few weeks. Honestly, I think the market is painting a very, you know, an encouraging picture, you know, especially if you're a trader of markets, right? There's going to be a lot of volatility here coming up. So looking forward to that. And yeah, y'all have a great rest of your day. We'll be back tomorrow. And thanks again.